Hello, Aquarius. So here you guys go. You have the Ten of Cups, the High Priest, which is the Hierophant in this deck. You have the Ten of Wands. You have, in the reverse position, you have the Devil. And in your, what you recommended actions you have is the Page of Swords. Okay, so here we go. I think you're coming off of, because this is your recent past for me, I think you're coming off of like a really happy time. I feel like you feel content, you have this fulfillment. This could indicate like you are experiencing unconditional love. This could be family, friends, a relationship, but you're in harmony at this time. You have this like harmonious happiness and you're like satisfied, you know, you're having this nice period. The High Priest, it's all about beliefs. It could be religious beliefs or family beliefs, traditions, wisdom, and like institutions and everything. So this is kind of like structure in the society, but this could represent like your family's belief system or whatever. So now with the Ten of Wands, you could be feeling overwhelmed by something. This is about having a lot of extra responsibilities on your shoulder at the moment, and they're worth having. It's just, you just feel overwhelmed. You know, you're almost at the finish line, but you're feeling overwhelmed at the moment. Now, the Devil in reverse really indicates that you're at the moment where you're letting things go, in a sense, like certain beliefs or things that you used to engage in. This is indicating that you're kind of letting it go, like you're moving forward, you're reassessing the situation, and you're not getting bogged down by those things anymore, which is fantastic. And the Page of Swords is all about having a different way of thinking. It's having like this, like almost like you're inspired, or just one moment you just wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm doing something different. I've decided, I've changed my mind. I am thinking in a new way. I wonder for some of you, if this has to do with family or family traditions. I wonder, you know, if the family's always kind of engaged or partook in that situation, or it's just something that you've always done. They've always done it that way, and it worked for them. But I think you might be feeling like extra burdens because of it. And you might be having this moment where you're like, do I really need to do things the way it's always been done? Or is there a better way for me to do this? Is there something I could do differently to make these burdens not so massive for me? So this is very interesting, but I really think that whatever this is, I think this is connected to however your family is. I mean, this could even be like work related, I guess. You know, sometimes people's work is their family in a sense. They're married to their job. And it could be something that you felt very happy with, and it's always been done this certain way, but even though you feel happy, it's a lot, like you're adding extra stuff to your plate. And I'm wondering if you're having this devil moment is that you don't actually have to do, maybe new technology came out that's going to make this burden easier, and maybe you're the one being like, you know what, I know we've always done it this way, but there's this new program that's going to come out that's going to make this easier. We'll only have to do half of this, so if we use the program, it's going to make it easier. And you could be having this moment of like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do it this way anymore, because there's something out there that's going to make it easier, and you're having this like, you know what, my life could be easier moment type of thing. So you got to take it how it resonates, but let's continue. So you got surprise. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searching. So I feel like sometimes if you let something go with the devil, sometimes certain people or certain things, or it could be also disappointing to yourself, because when you get into habits, even though if they were not good for you, sometimes it's sad to let them go. But I think by you doing that, or you shifting something, it's going to bring something better, even though initially if it might be like, oh, I think something better is going to come. And I think you're going to I'm going to put the surprise by the Page of Swords, because I feel like you're going to have this aha moment, and you're going to actually shift something up and make it more efficient. So let's continue. So you got a lot of cards today. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. And romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So I feel like it is safe for you to love. Obviously, these could be representing a love romance. But I feel like it's even saying that, for me, I'm going to put this kind of by the devil, because I feel like if you are letting something go and you're realizing that something's not really working for you, you need to let it go or you need to change things up. I think this is saying that it is safe for you to do that. You can do it. You're on the right path, because sometimes we feel like, oh, if I do this, is it really going to be better for me? And I think it's saying that, yeah, it's going to be better for you. So that card's going there. Let your friends help you. I feel like that's going to go with this Ten of Wands, with all these burdens. I feel like maybe there's certain things that a friend is willing to help you with in this situation. So I'm going to go with the Ten of Wands with that, because maybe you can kind of help release some of this. And maybe this is that aha moment you're having. Maybe you've always done it a certain way. And like, for instance, could even indicate like a family business. So let's say your family has, I don't know what kind of business, whatever business it is, and it's been in the family and it's always ran pretty well. And it's just always been like you always hired family members of the family. It's just been just the immediate family running it. And you might be feeling, because maybe your parents are getting older or something's happening where something's changing and you're having the more burdens on yourself. Like there's people, maybe they're retiring and they used to do certain things for you or for the business, and now they're kind of getting where they can't do it as effectively or as efficiently anymore. So now it's adding extra pressure on you, and you're having this like, then you would be having this devil moment of like, you know what, kind of almost like having this moment of like, I gotta do something different, and that would spur the Page of Swords of having a new thought. And then it could be like you're thinking, even though we've done this always, it's just been the family, but I have a friend who actually would be really great in this one position, and I'm gonna mention this if maybe we should hire somebody outside the family to come help with this. So it really, you need to take it how it works for you, but I feel like this really kind of is something maybe kind of like that in a sense. So past life relationships, you have known each other before, and romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. Now I think the romantic feelings, I feel like I'm going to put that by the Page of Swords, because I feel like this is indicating that this new idea you're having, I think it's worth exploring. And maybe this past life relationship, you have known each other before. If this is talking about, I mean, I sometimes these cards, I make them a little bit broader sense. So I wonder if that could go with the Page of Swords as well, because maybe you had this idea kind of once before, but it was an inkling. It wasn't something that you really considered, but it was just a thought. And now maybe you're re-entertaining this idea, and now you're actually like, you know what, maybe that's actually a better way to do this. So let's continue. So you guys got Skull of Darkness, blind spots. Now this is all about seeing and releasing what's not working for you. Sometimes we have problems and things keep happening, and it's almost like a repetitive cycle, and we can't really understand why is it happening, or we're not acknowledging what is really the root cause, like what is going on that this continues to happen and is causing us a problem. So this is all about seeing the areas in your life seeing the problems in your life and kind of being aware of, well, what is the root of that? Is there something going on that you're doing or is happening that you might not fully acknowledge it as a problem, so it becomes a blind spot, but you keep kind of running into something. So this is all about kind of acknowledging that there's certain blind spots that you have that may need a little bit of attention. And I feel like that's kind of going with the devil energy here, because he's about releasing things that don't serve us. So I think you need to kind of figure out, is there something here that is not quite working right for me that I need to change or release or just address? So then you have the Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. And this is all about almost like sometimes you got to burn everything down to regrow something. So it's about like, even if everything has been destroyed, flowers and seeds and life will happen again. It will regrow. So I feel like you might have to shift something up here a little bit, but just because you shift it up, it doesn't mean, it might not be quite the traditional thing that it was, but it doesn't mean it won't regrow again. So I definitely think there's something that you need to kind of, you need to change up, because whatever this traditional aspect you have here, I think it's worked in the past, but things are changing a little bit now. And now this could also be, let's say we're going to take it if you have a business. We're just going to use that example. If you have a business, this could be indicating that you've had the business, and maybe in the past you've always you haven't really relied on the online aspect of it. Maybe you have a Facebook or something, or an Instagram or whatever, but you really haven't tried to market the way you could using the online, because back in the day we didn't have internet. It wasn't like it is today. 20 years ago it was not like it is today. So this could be indicating that you might be able to release some burdens, or even some computer programs now. Let's say if you're doing the bookkeeping and you're doing it the old school way, it could be a little cumbersome, but maybe there's some apps or certain programs that you could use that it's going to make it a lot easier for you, and it's going to release some of these burdens. But I think this is saying that even with the blind spot, that you have to, whatever this situation is for you, you have to look at it a little differently and look at what is available to you to make this easier. And I think you're doing that. I definitely think you're kind of having this moment. And for instance, if now you're going to kind of take the business more online, in a sense, or try to attract customers online, it's like a new territory for you. And it might, in a sense, change your business dynamic a little bit, because maybe you're used to working with the same customers. You had repeat customers. You're used to working with the same customers. You knew what to expect with them. But now you opening yourself up to a larger scale, you're going to get a different types or different new customers, and you don't know how they are or whatever. So it could be like it changes your business a little bit, but at the same time, even though it changes it, it's still going to grow. Like the seeds are going to still grow. So I definitely think this is a positive card for you guys. So it's just saying that even if you have to change something, it's still going to grow for you. So that's great. Then you have eternal love. Love is love, and it transcends physical death. So this is just reminding you that you come from a long line of ancestors. Like, you come from a long line of people, and you should just acknowledge that you're not alone, that you've come from this line, and that's why you're here today, because people loved each other and they had children, and you're just like made up of all that love, I guess. But it's interesting because I definitely think whatever this could be could really be something with family, or something that really hits home for you personally. Sometimes family doesn't necessarily need to be blood family. It could be friends, or it could be whatever, but something where it's a little bit more on the emotional kind of like home front a little bit. So I definitely think that is great. And I think this could also say, let's say if this is something that you have to do differently, that has always been very structured and a little bit planned out prior. This is reminding you, because ancestors, if you think people 200, 300, 500 years ago, they did things differently than they do today. So this is saying that, to me, this also could indicate, if you're thinking of it in ancestral terms, that the high priest, Hierophant, he's about structure and society and things like that of kind of today, but the structure is always changing. So I feel like this is reminding you that things have always changed. Like, your ancestors did things differently than what you're doing today. So things are always changing. So even though there is a structure and kind of a rigidity, I don't know if I said that right, I can't speak, that structure shifts. So even though you see things like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be done, well, 1,000 years ago it probably wasn't done that way, because 1,000 years ago we might not have had we didn't, things were different then. So this is always kind of reminding you that things are always changing in a sense as well. So that's how I kind of take that card as well. So okay, let us continue. So you have Agate, get back into balance, and Bloodstone, get up, get moving. So I think, I'll get to that one card in a second. I think the Bloodstone, I'm going to put it with the Page. So I'm going to stick it over here, though. I think it kind of is with the Page of Swords, because I feel like you have this thought, or you have this idea that you have to implement. So I think it goes really with the Page of Swords. With this new idea, I think you need to implement for this 10 of Wand moment, this 10 of this burdens, you need to implement this into this situation here to kind of maybe alleviate some of this a little bit. Now, Agate, get back into balance. I feel like with the Devil, sometimes when you're releasing things, it could be a little bit, you feel a little bit out of balance in a sense. So I think this is reminding you, you're releasing things that are not working. You're having these new ideas and new thoughts, or this new way of doing something. I think it's fantastic, but it's also saying, sometimes when we're trying to figure out something new, we get like super focused on it, and it's always a lot. Trying to figure out something, especially if it's something you never did before, there's always a lot of troubleshooting, and there's always like a lot of figuring something. For instance, if you're learning a new program to help your business succeed, or help the accounting aspects of your business, these programs are heavy. Okay, so there's amazing tutorials out there. YouTube is amazing for that stuff. I love YouTube, but they could be a lot. It could be a lot. Some of these programs are not like you open it up and you know how to navigate it. It's insane. So sometimes it's just a lot. So I think this is saying that if you are learning something new to help this go a little easier, you need to remind yourself to, if you kind of get a little out of balance, just like come back into balance, do something for yourself where you can kind of balance all that out a little bit, and save nothing for the swim back. I definitely think this is saying that you're headed in a new direction, and sometimes I don't want to say it's like all or nothing, but I think it's for you to remind yourself that it's for your best. So don't take anything that's not working for you. Like with the devil, he's about releasing stuff, right? The devil in reverse is releasing things that are not working. So I feel like this is saying, don't hold on to those things. Like save, don't bring it back with you. When you swim back, after you've gone through this devil, do not bring that garbage back with you. You leave it out there. So I think that's that. Okay. Think of your question, Aquarius. We're going to get to your magic 8-ball in a second. But first, let us ask, what spirit of the dish shall be with you guys in the upcoming week? And you got the Queen of Drinks, which is the spirit of the wine. So I definitely think maybe it's not a bad idea potentially for because I feel like these burdens, some of you might be feeling a little stressed out. So if you're of age and whatever, maybe it's recommending having a glass. Okay, so let's see what dinner and a movie is recommended for you guys. What dinner and a movie for my Aquarius is. Okay, you got romance and Italian, so that's really nice. Ooh, maybe you could have a little red wine or wine of your choice with that Italian dinner. And then let's see. Okay, let's see your numbers and letters. Okay, you got W, C, G, V, F, and R, and then you got 810, and okay, you got a few of these came out. You got peace, kindness, faith, and love. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so I think the Ten of Cups is where the love is. I feel like, I really do think that you kind of have whatever this foundational is. I think it's something that is really nice. I definitely think it's like there's a lot of love there. It could be family or something, but I think it's something that's really, really harmonious, because this is a card of being harmonious and everything. So I think I feel like the Page of Swords should get the faith, because I feel like you're having these new ideas and you just have to have faith in yourself that you can implement it and it's going to work, or it's worth trying. Now, the peace, I feel like with the devil, anytime you're kind of releasing something, it's difficult. So sometimes you have to make peace with yourself in order to transition forward. Like if you had some type of addiction or some things that you were kind of engaging in that's not really good for you, sometimes you have to like almost forgive yourself and make peace within yourself and know that you can do it and to move forward and release it. So, and kindness, I feel the kindness I'm going to put on the 10 of Wands, because even though you're feeling a lot of burdens, I feel like some of these burdens may not even be your burdens. For instance, let's say if you're picking up extra responsibilities for somebody else, then you're showing extra kindness to that person because it's not really your responsibility, but you're trying to help somebody, and you're very kind. Then you're giving it your love and kindness. So I feel like that could be on that one. Okay, guys, so let us see. Okay, think of your question for the Magic 8-Ball. Here we go. Oh, mystical magical 8-Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Aquarius's question? It says, without a doubt. There you go, guys. The 8-Ball has spoken. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.